Hello folks, welcome to lesson 3 video 1, and this is the first part of a group of videos that will show you how to create scores and tokens to collect in a game. Tokens obviously being things that you pick up, and in this game we've got a mouse that's collecting donuts and the mouse can move around, so it's got 4 directions, which some of you may have experimented with previously in lessons. So there we go, the mouse is running, no more donuts. If I click the green flag again, the donuts reappear. And I'll just show you how to build this first so we can work on adding scores and using variables, which is the main learning aim of today's lesson. So to begin with, as per usual, I've got a blank canvas, a working on Scratch project. I am going to go to the magnifying glass and obviously go to animals, and I'm just going to choose my little critter, my little mouse. There we go. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the mouse's size to about 60. And not 600. What am I doing? 60. 60. Let's keep adding 6. Well, it might be a bit too small, actually. Let's go. I'll leave it at that. That's fine. It's a little creature anyway. We don't change the direction to left to right on this one because we want the mouse to be able to rotate around because it's moving as a sort of overview. So it's not sort of a 2D thing. It's moving up and down the fridge so it can spin around a little bit, and we want it to do that when we change the direction. Finally, we go to the stage, so make sure you select your stage. It should go in blue, and we'll go to backdrops, and we will add the fridge, which is, where is it? It's indoors. No, it's not outdoors. Indoors refrigerator, because Americans made Scratch. This is made by MIT, by the way, the people from Massachusetts Institute of Technology, one of the greatest technology colleges in the world. So it's quite cool that they made Scratch as an educational tool. Anyhow, enough random trivia for you. I'm going to go to code, and we're going to add the mouse's code. Really straightforward. We are going to start with the green flag being clicked because we only want the game to start when the green flag's clicked. There's no point in the mouse moving around otherwise. So that's an event. We're going to go to control, and we're going to go for forever. Forever? Yes, forever. That's a loop or iteration, as I've taught you about in Python before. Very similar to Python, it's still coding, just block based. And we've got an if then, and we're going to go for, so that's selection, isn't it? We're going to go for sensing, and we want to go for key something pressed. It's always defaulted as space. We're going to go for up arrow, motion, point in direction, 90, we're not point direction 90, are we? We're pointing up, which is 0. There we go. And we'll move 10 steps. Because the mouse has 2 costumes, little wiggling feet to show it's moving, we're going to go for next costume. So we go for looks, and we go to next costume here. Just put it in at the top there like that. And what we do is we duplicate that 4 times over for all of the others. I'm just going to pause, and it's going to magically appear so that you don't have to watch me doing each one laboriously one after the other. And as if by magic, it's reappeared. Notice that with the up arrow it's 0, with the right arrow the point in direction is 90 degrees to the right, the down arrow being pressed is 180 down, and the left arrow being pressed is obviously minus 90 to the left. Make sure that they're all plugged in one underneath each other, not inside. Sometimes I see people make this sort of mistake in Scratch. They do stuff like that. That's not going to work. All right, it needs to be each if one under the other. So when I press the green flag now, little mouse moves. Brilliant, we've got a result. Next thing then, let's make the donuts. So we're going to go here, and we are going to choose food. Why have I chosen a donut? Because there's no cheese. And that's honestly the truth. They don't have cheese. Mice actually don't eat cheese, by the way. They eat grain-based products. So a donut or cake or piece of bread would be quite desirable to them. They're absolutely amazing little creatures. They can metabolize literally nothing and survive for ages without much food at all. I'm not going to worry too much about the direction because this is a static object, but I might as well just go for left, right, just for the sake of it. Actually, no, I won't. I'll set it to not rotate at all. There we go. And the size is going to drop down all the way to 30. So it's small enough for the mouse to collect. Now, I showed you previously that we add the collision detection, if touching mouse in this case. We add that to the enemy. We also do it to the thing being collected because we want to duplicate, we want to copy this donut and all its scripts in a minute to save time. If we keep making new donuts, if the mouse was the one with the scripts detecting if it's hitting a donut, you need to have if touching for each of the donuts, which would be really time consuming and loads of scripting. Whereas we can do it in the donut and say if touching the mouse, you can copy that then, and each of the subsequent donuts will also detect if they're touching the mouse. It's really clever the way that works. Before I do that though, I just realised the mouse should be given a name, shouldn't it? So we're going to call it Mike, short for Mickey, because I don't want to infringe copyright for the mighty Disney company. So the donut, we're going to go for an event with the donut. So I'm there. I'm moving very fast today, I know, but I just want to get through quite a bit with you. We're going to go for control. We're going for forever, so we want to keep running the script inside the forever. And what script we're running is checking something's happening. So we're going to keep checking if something's happening all the time. And what we're checking to see is happening all the time is if something is touching, if the donut is touching something, if the donut is touching Mike the mouse, right? So are we touching Mike the mouse? And if it is, it's really simple, very, very basic little command, hide it. There we go. And obviously, if it's hidden and we want to restart the game, we press the green flag. We need to show it, don't we? So we're going to put it to show every time the green flag's clicked, because that's resetting the game. So any of the donuts that disappear, we want them to show when we press the green flag, because it's a new game again. Okay, finally, I've just checked. I haven't given Mike a starting point. It's really important when I press the green flag at the start of the next game that he goes back to the beginning. So I'm going to go to motion, and I'm going to, if I move the mouse, obviously the go to changes. It's really clever, so that's a position block. Just move that go to here. So that's the current coordinates the mouse is at. And let's press green flag. Donut's eaten. Press green flag and it resets. And all I then need to do is really swift. I just duplicate that donut. Put it somewhere I want. Duplicate that donut again. Put that somewhere I want it to go. Duplicate this donut. Put that somewhere, etc., etc. It's really crafty this, isn't it? Right, so what I love about Scratch is how easy it is once you start building things. You can copy your code that you've already made. And hey presto, let's move around. That donut gets eaten by the mouse, that one does, that one does, that one does, that one does, and that one does. So, pretty straightforward. Right, so I'm going to leave that there, and the next video we're then going to start exploring variables.